Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out another video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and I am recapping the very first episode of Grown and Gospel. This show is very interesting to me for multiple reasons, and I'm going to get into all of them. But first, I do ask that you please like this video. I know that you all hear all of your favorite content creators asking you to like their videos. The reason being is that it will cause YouTube to recommend this video to more people who have similar interests. Also, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel, Show, Style, and Spirit. Obviously, I do TV show recaps. I also do interviews with some of your favorite reality TV stars. Just this week, I interviewed Dr. Francis from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Amazing, amazing conversation. Please check that out. And I also talk about more serious stories that affect, Black women, the Black community. So definitely check me out. All right, so let's jump right on in. This first singer that we see is Elijah Connor. And I just want you all to know that obviously from the title Grown in Gospel, this show is about up and coming gospel singers or established gospel singers who grew up in the gospel industry. Their parents are also gospel singers. Now, Motown, Detroit is known for the Motown sound, Berry Gordy and him owning his record label, Motown Records, for the Supremes, the Temptations. But also, Detroit is known as the gospel capital as well. And we're also known for the automotive industry and the mortgage industry. But anywho, there's also Detroit being known as the gospel capital. And Elijah Connor, he actually sings R&B, or what the Christian community would call secular. Now you may be wondering, why would Ebony snap a screenshot of Elijah in the bathtub? Well, I want to counter your question with a question. Why would Elijah let the people film him in the bathtub? He was in the tub singing. Yes, he was. He was belting out a song. I guess it's supposed to get you in the mood, kind of like a Trey Songz or Ara, both of those guys. But not a comparison, Elijah, not at all. Those were the two who came to my mind when I think about making music that gets you in the mood. But anyway, yeah, so he's definitely a character, this guy. We're going to see him shading someone in a minute that I believe has become the center of the show already, the nucleus, and we're going to get into that. But this guy, Elijah, he's definitely funny. Definitely has a personality, and we saw him actually go on FM 98 WJLB, which is a very popular R&B and hip hop station here in Detroit, and he was promoting his latest single called Appetite. And Elijah definitely has the personality. He talks about in this episode how it's so important for you to keep up on your social media, stay connected to your fans. He said that he was very well known here in Detroit. So, I mean, I'll be honest, I just wasn't familiar, but no shade. I mean, I still play like all of my favorite Beyonce records. I love Whitney Houston. And so sometimes perhaps I just don't listen to what's current, but I also love Summer Walker and Ari Lennox and Meg. So I don't know, but somehow I miss this guy. But definitely he has the personality. He could do comedy for sure. Then we have Tasha Page Lockhart. Her mother is also a gospel singer. This young lady can sing. We're going to see from upcoming episodes where Tasha talks about, where she would sing in the strip clubs and then show up for church on Sunday. I don't judge. I think all of us have been there where you went out dancing on Saturday night. I love to ballroom and ballroom hustle. And then, I would go to church on Sunday. I think we've all been there where you've hung out. So, and even if you don't hang out on Saturday nights and you still show up to church on Sunday, you still can't judge anybody. So I'm already appreciating Tasha for the upcoming episodes where she's going to share that. She refers to it as a double life. I call it a realistic life. I think that that's very extremely normal to have fun and you also love God. I don't know why it has to be so either this or that. And when I say either this or that, the this being the hanging out, the going out dancing, having a good time with your friends. You're not harming anyone, you're not scamming or threatening anyone. And then you show God love and attention and learning his word by being in church. I'm not telling anyone to go out here and hurt anyone. I'm certainly not. But if you're not hurting anyone and you're just having a little fun, what is wrong with that? I feel like if we pull back and we tell people, everything that you do is going to send you to hell, you're just going to turn people off from God because they're going to constantly feel like they're not good enough anyway. So, Tasha, don't even refer to it as a double life girl, but I do want to learn more about it. But she is going to shade one of the people on this show, and I do have the screenshot, so we're going to get into that. Next, we have Nakia. She is the daughter of the beautiful Dorinda Clark Cole. So she is also the niece, of course, of the other members of the extremely popular gospel group, the Clark Sisters. You may have seen their autobio film on Lifetime. You can also watch it on Hulu. And Nakia is a manager for her mom and her aunts. She basically, what I took from it as she is like their stylist. So far, I have not seen her do much of the business side of managing them, but she's definitely their stylist. And we're going to see her sit down with her mom and her Aunt Jackie in a clothing boutique, and they're going to have some good conversation. And I'm going to show you a little bit more into Nakia's life. In this first episode, we see everyone come together for Nakia's 40th birthday, a birthday party that is funded by her husband, who cannot be there. It is a surprise birthday party, and I'm going to explain very soon why he cannot be there. And this is the lovely Brienne. In my opinion, Brienne is the center of at least this one episode of Grown in Gospel. She's definitely the nucleus. Her returning to the group meaning the people that this show is about, whom she grew up with in the gospel music industry. Her seeing them again is like the build-up, the climax that we see at the end of the episode. Brienne is the daughter of gospel great Fred Hammond. Oh my gosh, I have Fred Hammond CDs, just like I have some of Dorinda Clark Cole's music. I enjoy Fred Hammond's music. It's so energetic, uplifting, and I feel like people across generations can enjoy it. Maybe not so much the older generation that's not really into praise and worship, but definitely the slightly older millennials to the young millennials and Gen Z, I feel like would definitely enjoy Fred Hammond's music. Brienne, I think she's gorgeous. I'm all about natural hair with my dreadlocks. So I love her hair, her natural hair. Someone is going to have the nerve to shade her about it. Okay. I can't even hold back. I can't wait. It's Elijah. Because Elijah, the one who's in the bathtub, he wants to be the only one in the group with blonde hair. But I feel like this look suits her so much. And she is married, but she's coming back to Detroit to reestablish her gospel music career. I feel like there's something about Brienne that's very humble and down to earth. And so I'm just very excited to see more from her. I hope that she meets all of her goals 100%. We also learned that she is not very close with her dad right now. I was sorry to hear that. Her parents are divorced. And she has a younger brother who was adopted, and Fred Hammond is not close with him either. Of course, we do not know all of the details as to why there is like a distance. I definitely hope that, they grow closer with their dad and those lines of communication open up. But there's more to come concerning Brienne, and we're going to get into it. And if I am mispronouncing your name, Brienne, please forgive me. Okay, y'all. So this is Nakia, the daughter of Dorinda Clark Cole and the niece of the other members of the Clark sisters. Now, look at the bottom of the screenshot. The producers of Grown in Gospel obviously put in closed caption for us what she heard on her phone when she answered it. It said, "This is a prepaid call from Fast Cash." Fast Cash is the nickname for Nakia's husband, Dion. Dion is in prison right now. Dion has been in prison for the last 4 years, and I believe he was sentenced to a total of 7 years. Of course, Nakia did not share what her husband did to get locked up. I don't know if it was allegedly scamming or anything of that nature. I'm just taking a wild guess. I'm not saying that he did do any scamming. I don't know what happened. But she said she does not care what people think about her husband being in prison. They can just kick off. So I'm glad that she doesn't care what people think. That is extreme freedom and it is beautiful. But I was just shocked. Like in the very beginning of the episode, we see her talking with her mom about, her 40th birthday coming up. And she said she wasn't going to do anything. And then we see Dorinda talking to Nakia's husband, Dion, secretly. He said, I'm going to send you some money to fund her birthday party. So then that's when I was wondering, like, is he in jail? Because if he was like out of town on business, why wouldn't he just fly in for her birthday party really quickly? My mind did start to go there. And then this scene came up. So y'all know I've made a ton of videos about, just women being trained to settle for less, especially Black women. I'm not saying that Nakia is settling for less, but it's not normal behavior to do something that would cause you to end up in prison. So the reason why I say that is like, what signs did he show that perhaps he was not equally yoked for Nakia? I mean, like, you're this daughter of this gospel great, a successful woman, a successful family. How do you end up marrying a man who's in prison? And so I just feel like, the church definitely promotes marriage. And the church definitely will ask a young adult woman, well, when are you getting married? When are you getting married? Do you have a friend? When are you getting married? It's like as soon as I graduated college, it started. And I think that that can create a spirit of desperation. So as a woman, you have to be committed to yourself first. You have to be committed to yourself and make a pledge to yourself that you're not going to settle. You're not going to just date anyone to say that you have a man or that you have a husband. And you're going to wait until you get the man that you deserve and don't settle. So then we see Jay Brooks. His dad was one of the founding members of the Gospel Group Commission. And you know that Fred Hammond was also in commission. And so we see Jay Brooks meeting with Brienne. And Jay Brooks is like, it sounds like he is a music producer. Obviously, that's what his title says. It sounds like Jay Brooks is very much so working and active in the gospel music industry. So that's great. He and Brienne sit down and have dinner. And they're just basically chopping it up, catching up. And she says that she really wants to get back in the industry and get established. And I don't really recall them setting any hard days and times to go back in the studio, but she did say that they grew up in the recording studio since they were teenagers, being in the studio. So they have that foundation and that experience. These two seems to have really good rapport with each other. I hope that he produces some songs for her. I think that would be great. And that was pretty much, the gist of their meeting. So then we see they're all hanging out at a Coney Island restaurant in Detroit. We have Elijah, who's in the burgundy and leopard jogging suit, is Nakia. And that's the daughter, again, of Dorinda Clark Cole. Next to her is Jay Brooks, and across from Jay Brooks is Tasha. And then they're all talking about Brienne, how she is coming back. Jay Brooks had lunch or dinner with her, and he did not tell them that he invited her to Nakia's surprise birthday party. Obviously, he wouldn't say it there with Nakia sitting there. And Elijah is just saying in his confessional that they cut away to how he's wondering what Brienne is going to be like. He's not really familiar with her, but Elijah and Nakia, they know of her, but they did not spend as much time with her growing up as Tasha and Jay Brooks. So then this is a scene, it's at a clothing boutique, and Dorinda Clark Cole is looking at her daughter Nakia. Who's also with them is Dorinda's sister Jackie Clark. And Jackie is talking with them about Brienne Hammond. So you see why I said in the beginning of this video that Brienne Hammond is like the center of, if not the entire show, this episode. She's like the nucleus. And Brienne, Jackie Clark is saying, basically that hopefully Brienne just is willing to work and put in the time and effort to work in this gospel music industry, and that there cannot be just a helping hand being extended with her dad being Fred Hammond. Jackie Clark said, Fred Hammond can just make a phone call, and Brienne pretty much, it sounds like she pretty much would have some sort of support to put out music. But like Jay Brooks said to Brienne when they met for dinner, now you don't even need a record deal to release music because we all can just stream it, right? I mean, literally, you could start a YouTube channel, I would imagine, perhaps, and stream your own music. I don't see why not. But I'm also not in the music industry. I don't know how YouTube would view that. But Jackie Clark was saying, just like for you, Nakia, if you wanted to do something, your mom could just make a phone call. But she was saying that's not anything to be abused or taken advantage of. So I thought that it was very interesting conversation. If you watched the episode, what did you think about Jackie Clark's words? I thought that they were fair and sensible. If you're in the entertainment industry overall, I'm sure that your loved one could get you a meeting with a producer or, promote whatever you're working on, and it gets lots of attention, right? Just because you have a family member who's in the industry. And then at the same time, you would have to prove yourself that you're not just getting that extra push because you're related to this legend, but that you also have the talent yourself. So it's probably like sort of a game. So then we are at Nakia's surprise 40th birthday party. It looked really beautiful, great decor. Lots of people were there. They showed Kiara Clark. I'm sorry. Yes, Kiara Clark Sheard. She was there. She's the daughter of Karen Clark Sheard. And they showed her dad, Bishop J. Drew Sheard. And so this is Brienne Hammond walking in, and she's hugging Tasha Page Lockhart. And as you see, if you look at the bottom, it says, "You look amazing." Well, in Tasha's confessional, she said that Brienne looked homely and Salvation Army-ish. So I thought that that was not only shady, but fake. And what are you trying to say? Like, if someone shops secondhand, they're homely? But you can go to like the really affluent suburbs to like a sale, and they'll have Steve Madden, BCBG, Jessica Simpson with tags still on them, never worn. So Tasha, I don't know if you're gonna probably annoy a couple of the viewers with that comment, but the biggest annoyance was that you tell Brienne to her face that she looks amazing, but then in your confessional you says that she looks homely, like her clothes came from the Salvation Army. And then Elijah in his confessional was just making jabs at her hair because he said that blonde was his thing. Excuse me, but I thought anybody could color their hair blonde. Oh my gosh. And it looks great on Brienne and her skin tone, and it's natural hair. Can we please lay off of Black women and stop policing Black women's hair? That's totally what it gave me. It totally triggered me. And Elijah was just doing the most. In fact, in this scene, Elijah is standing up next to Brienne, and he actually starts putting his fingers in her hair. She moved her head and said, "No, only my husband does that." And Elijah says, "Oh, I thought that ring was just like decor." And she's like, no, it's like very much so a real marriage. So Elijah is already being disrespectful, violating boundaries, being extra, doing the most. He was just totally out of line, in my opinion. So in this episode, I feel like Brienne is like the champion, the MVP. Obviously, this episode was very much so centered around her. If you all watched the episode, please let me know what you think. On WeTV.com, you can watch this first episode for free. Of course, there's the episode here on YouTube that you can check out as well. Let me know your thoughts. And please, again, like this video so that more people can have access to it. YouTube would recommend it to more people. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel, Show Style and Spirit. I hope that you are having a fantastic Sunday. Now that I have also done my Love and Marriage DC video, I'm going to work out, go grocery shopping, meal prep for the work week, all that. So you all take good care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.